Okay, welcome back. In the previous video, we talked a lot and we coded a lot about word similarities, where we can compute similarity of one word with another word using cosine similarity or normalized dot products. It turns out that there are other interesting things as well, and very interesting things that are there, sometimes known as the word analogies. So think about a vector or embedding for a word queen and an embedding for a word king. Now, I guess you are very comfortable with calling these embeddings as points in some space, feature space, maybe 100-dimensional space. Just for visualization, I'm plotting this in 2 dimensions. So let's say queen has this particular blue vector and king has this particular vector. Now, it seems very in terms of words, it seems very strange to subtract a word, for example, king, from a word queen. How can you do subtraction of 2 words? I mean, you need to define subtraction between 2 words, and what will be the result? How can you interpret that result? But thanks to embeddings, once this queen is represented as a point in space as embedding, and king is a point in space as embedding, then the subtraction is just the relationship or this vector from king to queen, this particular vector. It turns out that if you subtract queen from king, although queen has a different vector, king has a different vector, but their subtraction, this red vector, has some similarity with the vector if you subtract woman minus man. It turns out whatever, for example, queen is composed of, let's say, a royalty, so royalty plus gender, and king has royalty plus gender. And here, let's say we have just genders, gender and gender, let's say. When you subtract both, royalty, just think about the subtraction as subtraction in numbers. Royalty cancels with the royalty, and gender minus gender. Here, female minus male. Here, exactly, you're going to get the same vector, red vector here and red vector here. That's awesome. That's I mean, this is not obvious at the first glance, but the embeddings that are learned in a way that these kind of relationships, they are discoverable or sometimes discovered very greatly, I mean, to the very surprise of our intuition. Although there are certain cases in which there are biases and certain wrong interpretations, but in most of the cases, these analogies are there as a byproduct of the learned embeddings. Further, if you further think about these subtractions in words, not as a string form, but as a vector form, then you can think of, if I, from the king, if I subtract the man, a man, and then I add a woman, then this vector, so let's say vector 1, vector 2, vector 3, resultant is a vector, let's say v. If I want to find out v has similarity with what word in my embeddings, you will be astonished that most likely word might be queen, because if I subtract if I subtract man from a king, gender is out, royalty left. If I add royalty to a woman, that becomes a queen. Yeah, I mean, and what people usually do is, to find out these kind of analogies, they write a function for getting this vector out, and then for this vector, they actually find out the most similar vectors. Yeah. So in the next video, actually, I'm going to write the function to compute these analogies, and then we'll be having fun with the embeddings we have to get these kind of analogies out. Hope to see you in the next video. Okay, let's write the function for getting analogies that we have just seen in our previous video. But one problem here, the function that we have written earlier to get the most similar words, it was actually accepting only a word as a string form, and then it was getting a vector out. But here, as you can see here, we should be able to give it the word as a vector form rather than just a string form. So a little modification in our function. If the given word is already in a string form, then do just as before. Otherwise, if we supplied word just as a vector form, then the original v is equal to that. This way, this function get most similar words work for both as string inputs or for vector inputs. Let's just try it. Here we have scores to index for bad as a string. That's the result. Now let's call it again. Yeah. So now let's call it for a vector input. So now, so it's working for vector input 2. Now we are ready to write the function for analogy, because this analogy indeed requires the similarity of a vector to all the words rather than similarity of a string. So let's write the function analogy. Define analogy. We need word to index mapping. Let's say we have one vector for one variable name as man, woman, king, and we need to find out the fourth one. This is just analogous to this slide, the variable names. It is not necessary that the variable man contains a vector of a man, but this is just analogous to this thing. Now, what we really want to do is v is equal to embedding of king. So king minus man, whatever the man is, plus a woman. So plus woman. So that's the vector, basically this particular vector, for which we want to find out the most similar word. And next what we do is we find out the most similar word with respect to this vector. And here you might get an idea why we have changed this function get most similar words a little bit. So here we have this vector, let's say v. So, and then you can just return scores and idx, or you can just return the best one, the best one, score and idx, just the best one. Yeah, or you can return the top 10, or you can return just the best one. Let's keep this function to return the top 10, and then we can write a caller function that will take care of how many we really want to print. So scores idx is equal to, let's say, analogy of e word to index, and I want to find out, for example, analogy of tall to tallest has what analogy? So tall is to tallest, then long is to what? So let's print that out. Let's copy that from somewhere, from here. Let's copy that, and let's just print the top one. So let's break the code and print the top one. So you can see tall is to tallest, then long is to tallest. Oh, it should have been long is to longest, but it is just saying that like tall is to tallest and long is to tallest. It should be longest, by the way. Let me print all of these and see what other analogies are there. So tallest, major, busiest, the first, and so on. Let's try some other. For example, cow is to cows, then cat is to what? So cat is to cat. It should be cat to cats, but that's the result. Maybe we are making some mistake here. Let's see, for example. So this is causing a mistake, maybe because of the certain functions that we called earlier. Cow is to cows, then cat should be to cats rather than a single cat. And we have seen earlier as well, there are certain mistakes. So let's see closely some of the functions that we call here in analogy. In analogy, we have this vector we generated, and then we call this function get most similar words. So let's go to get most similar words and see, maybe there is, everything is fine. Oh, we are, here is a problem. We are returning the most similar words starting from 1. Because remember, first we were seeing the most similar, get the most similar words from the embedding, and we were not returning the word which was itself. And that's why we make this index 1 rather than 0, so that to not return the same one. It should return everything. It should return everything. And then the caller should be responsible. The caller should be responsible, for example, here, the caller should be responsible to not print that. So for example, if I now print, then the exceptional will be having best similarity with exceptional, as you can see here. But this function should not be responsible for indexing like so. It should return the most similar ones. And then the caller might be responsible for doing so. So, oh, that's 1 to length of index, range of this, exceptional to this. And what is that? What is that doing? I mean, yeah. So exceptional, then tornado, phones haven't. Oh, what is happening here? Oh, this is for m reduced. Oh my God, this is m reduced is doing something because, oh my God, because this word to index is different now. Let me show you the same thing here. Yeah, let me show you the same thing here. So the best word is bad. It should be. Now I have to go 1, and that's what it should be. But the get most similar words function should not be responsible for holding the best word out. Now with this, I guess we are going to get gets. Oh my God. Now let's break this and see the best word. Cow is to cows, then cat is to cats. Now let's test the other one also. Tall is to tallest, then long is to what? Longest. Oh my God. Let's test further some more things. For example, Japan is to Japanese, then Australia is to what? Australian. Oh, fantastic. Let's check more. For example, France is to French, and then Spain is to what? Then Spain is to Spanish. I mean, these are very tremendous kind of analogies that you came up with. Although there may be certain errors also. For example, I mean, I don't know, but you may come up with certain biases and errors too. For example, let's check it on good to, for example, fantastic, then the good to fantastic, then bad to what? Bad to fantastic also. If we just break this and see the other things that are. So this fantastic is wrong, although the terrible is correct. Maybe more like correct here, but this is listed. So you may expect certain kind of errors also, but mostly they are really great. Maybe we should see the man to woman, then a boy to what? It should be girl. Oh, it's girl. Man to woman, then maybe we check, for example, if man is to woman, then for example, a doctor is to what? So a doctor is to doctor, or a doctor could be to nurse. A man is to woman, for example, and then king is to what? So king is to king, although the better answer might be the king is to queen. Anyways, I mean, now you get the point what these analogies are and how could we implement those. And we also fix this function gets more similar to return actually most similar and not decide which index not to return. And now we make this function to work for both words as strings as well as vectors. So interesting. And by the way, we've done all this on word-to-vec embedding, the 400,000 words and 100-dimensional embedding. We do not just stop here. There are more to embeddings, not just for getting these analogies. Rather, we can see these the visualizations of these words in at least in 2 or 3 dimensional space, if not higher. Let's do that in our next couple of videos.